Hey there. Hey, awesome teen. Hey, awesome young adult. Here is a message for you. Ever feel like you're being pulled in 10 different directions at once? One friend is inviting you to a wild party, another's hyping up a color fest. And meanwhile, your phone won't stop buzzing with updates, reels, and trends. It's like everything is fighting for a piece of your attention. It is so tempting and feels easy to get caught up in the current, saying yes to everything until you are exhausted and off track. However, a focused youth should use the one most important and powerful word in the vocabulary: no. Whenever I give talks, I always remind my listeners that no is not a new or unknown word, but part of the dictionary. For many people, saying no to an offer is very challenging. Teens often feel pressured to fit in and to impress others. They are afraid of being perceived or called boring, weak, or too Christian by their friends. According to an American study published in the Journal of Personality and Physiology and Psychology, 77% of the people fear rejecting others or turning down to an offer for coffee or just going out due to worry about the potential negative ramifications. The fear of losing close friends makes people to avoid negating that which they are certain that deep down their hearts they are uncomfortable with. As a focused teen or youth, don't be ashamed to say no. You can say yes to everything and still stay on God's path. There will be moments in your life when saying no is the wisest thing you can do. These moments often come wrapped in false excitement or laughter, but deep inside, there's a feeling that something isn't right. That's when your voice matters most. Saying no means choosing your future over fleeting feeling, your dignity over popularity, and your values over temporal approval of others. It may not be easy, but it will always be worth it. Saying no is not just about rejecting sin. It's about choosing who you want to become and what your values are. When we read about Joseph's temptation, he didn't reason with it. He simply remembered who he was and who he was and whose he was. His no was shaped by deep loyalty to God, not just the fear of consequences. Many teens today face pressures, online messages, peer approval, emotional loneliness, name them. Temptation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. No one will know. But even then, our commitment to God makes us refuse that which we know is being said. We may lose popularity or applause, but never God's presence. Let's be real. Every day, you're invited to things that sound fun, exciting, and maybe a little off. A party that crosses the line, a trend that compromises your values, a shortcut that feels too good to be right. But you are not the first to feel this pressure. Here is the squad of biblical game changers who stood their ground. Daniel said no to the king's rich food and stuck to veggies and water. Talking about Daniel 1. His choice wasn't cool, but it made him wiser and stronger than everyone else. Not trendy, but totally powerful. Talk about Moses. Say no to living things, to living like a prince in Pharaoh's palace. He chose God's purpose over luxury and popularity. He is now rewrote history in Hebrews 11:24-25. Jesus, he said no to Satan's tempting offers in the wilderness. Fame, power, and comfort were on the table, but he chose truth. Talking about Matthew 4:1-11. Esther, she said no to silence, risking her life. She spoke up to save her people. Her courage flipped the script. Her boldness saved the nation. I'm talking about Esther chapter 4. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said no to bowing down to a golden statue. Even the threat of fire didn't shake their loyalty to God. Talk about fearless faith. This is Daniel chapter 3. Of course, these were a soft no's. They were bold, life-altering, history-shaping decisions. The kind of no that says, I'd rather please God than fit in. Want to live boldly? Start with the courage to say no. Be clear and firm. Say no without laughing or hesitation. Not maybe, not we'll see. Just say, no, that's not for me. Use body language. Stand tall. Look at them in the eyes. Walk away if necessary. Repeat it if pressured. Some people will test your boundaries. Be ready to repeat yourself calmly. Practice in advance. Rehearse how you'll respond to peer pressure before it happens. Have an exit plan. If you feel trapped in bad situation, have a plan to leave early. For example, you're in a party, you're in a grass grove and such. Please have a plan to leave early. Remember, saying no is not a weakness. It's wisdom, strength, and maturity. Your values are like a compass. They quietly guide your decisions even when the crowd is loud. When your heart is anchored in truth, purity, and purpose, you won't follow every trend or say yes just to fit in. While others may rush to say yes to shortcuts, temptation to approval, focused in, pauses, and remembers what truly matters. It takes courage to stand alone, but your values give you that courage. They remind you who you are, what you believe, and where you're going. Saying no doesn't make you weak. It makes you different. And in a world of compromise, different is powerful. You know today may just protect your future tomorrow. Remember Joseph. Joseph was young, handsome, and far away from anyone who knew him. He had every excuse to compromise. No parents watching, no pastor nearby, no church youth group to remind him what was right. But Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him. Day after day, Joseph stood firm. Her offer was sacred, tempting, easy, but Joseph feared something greater than being caught. He feared disappointing God. With deep conviction, he declared, "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" He didn't flirt with temptation. He didn't pause to consider it. He ran. Joseph chose pain over pleasure, prison over freedom, integrity over impulse. He lost his freedom but kept his purity, his purpose, and most importantly, God's presence. He is no more than self-control. It was spiritual courage. Even Cain, who says no to sin, is saying yes to something far greater. A future blessed by God. The story of Joseph, you can get it in Genesis chapter 39, verse 9. That's me, Darwin Varande, or call me Desmond Tutu.